Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiriye Nastaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Hare Krishna. So we'll read today from Grantharaj in the Bhagavatam, 10th canto, chapter number 9, verse 1 and 2. The title of the chapter is Mother Yashoda Binds Lord Krishna. Rudy, shall I just read and continue, or you want to do repetition? Okay. So I'll just read the shloka and purport and translation, and we can discuss. There's 2 verses. Again, this is chapter 9. If you want to recite it together, we can all recite together. Chapter 9, verses 1 and 2. Shishuka Uvacha Ekada Grihadashishu Yashodananda Gehini Karmantara Niyaktashu Nirmamanta Swayamdadi Yani Yani Ha Gitani Tadbala Charitani Cha Davinarmanta Kale Smaranti Tanyagata. So I'll just do the translation. You can repeat after me. Shri Shukadev Goswami continued. One day, when Mother Yashoda saw that all the maidservants were engaged in other household affairs, she personally began to churn the yogurt. While churning, she remembered the childish activities of Krishna. In her own way, she composed songs and enjoyed singing to herself about all those activities. Purport. By His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, quoting from the Vaishnava Darshani of Srila Sanatana Goswami, says that the incident of Krishna breaking the pot of yogurt and being bound by Mother Yashoda took place on the Deepavali day, or Deepa Malika. Even today in India, this festival is generally celebrated very gorgeously in the month of Kartik by fireworks and lights, especially in Bombay. It is to be understood that among all the cows of Nanda Maharaj, several of Mother Yashoda's cows ate only grasses so flavorful that the grasses would automatically flavor the milk. Mother Yashoda wanted to collect the milk from those cows and make it into yogurt and churn it into butter personally. Since she thought that this child Krishna was going to the houses of neighborhood Gopas and Gopis to steal butter because he did not like the milk in yogurt ordinarily prepared. While churning the butter, Mother Yashoda was singing about the childhood activities of Krishna. It was formerly a custom that if one wanted to remember something constantly, he would transform it into poetry and have it done by a professional poet. It appears that Mother Yashoda did not want to forget Krishna's activities at any time. Therefore, she poeticized all of Krishna's childhood activities, such as the killing of Putana, Agasur, Shakatasur, and Thanargata. And while churning the butter, she sang about all these activities in poetical form. This should be the practice of persons eager to remain in Krishna conscious 24 hours a day. This incident shows how Krishna consciousness Mother Yashoda was. To stay in Krishna consciousness, we should follow such persons. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Tasmai Shri Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Darati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padana Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishamanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Mancha Kalpaduruvesya Kripa Sindhu Vevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So once again, thank you for the opportunity to purify myself by discussing this most glorious Amala Puran, Grantharaj, and Bhagavatam, and this very wonderful pastime, the Dhamma pastime of Krishna. How many of us have relished the pastime of Damodar Leela and some higher classes? Class? Good. The beauty in this pastime is repetition only deepens our attachment to this wonderful pastime. So I'm grateful that Prabhuji allowed me to speak on this pastime because it is one of my favorites. I think one of many's favorites. And so we'll go on a journey to Sri Vrindavan Dham. I'm going on my journey to Vrindavan tomorrow, so this is a preview, a little anticipation. So Krishna is all attractive. That is the meaning of Krishna. And all attractive means all attractive. Attractive from all spheres. And he has many qualities. And it's explained that, the Jiva Tattva, all the way up to Lord Brahma, they possess these 50 primary qualities. Then from the Jiva, Lord Shiva possesses 5 additional qualities. And from Lord Shiva to Lord Vishnu, 60, another 5. In Krishna, he has 4 unique qualities. That is not present anywhere else. Unique that makes him all attractive. And those qualities are his Venu Madhuri, his flute. No sound emanates like the transcendental sound of Krishna's flute. His rupa, his form, his beauty is unmatched. So sweet is Krishna's beauty. That 7 days, the residents of Vrindavan, while Krishna was holding Govardhan, were just absorbing, drinking the beauty. 7 days and nights, and yet they felt like they just had a small sip. They could not get to the end. So beautiful is Krishna. Krishna's relationship with his devotees, very unique, as we'll see in this discussion. And, of course, his leelas. Krishna's pastimes are so enchanting and so sweet. He comes to the material world to perform those pastimes, to give pleasure to his devotees, and to inspire his yet-to-be devotees to take to the process of spiritual life. And these pastimes are so sweet that Srila Prabhupada, even before completing Srimad Bhagavatam, he translated Krishna book, the story form of 10 canto. So that if for some reason he was not able to complete, we would have these pastimes of Krishna, to see what is life like when we purify our heart, put through the austerity required to burn away these impurities. What is on the other end of that? And it is the beautiful relationships Krishna has with his devotees in Vrindavan. And when we hear these pastimes, they're very sweet, and they're very, in some ways we can say, enjoyable to hear. But we should hear these pastimes understanding there are extraordinary instructions in them for all of us to learn how we can advance in Krishna consciousness very quickly. So we'll try to draw out some of those lessons as we narrate the sweet pastime. We'll take some side detours to pull out some of the important things that we can apply in our day-to-day practice of spiritual life. Then the relishing of these pastimes have its full potency, and we can take inspiration to progress. This month of Kartik, Prabhupada said, it is like, when a store has a giant sale. You can go into a store with a little bit of money and walk out with lots of things because everything is discounted. Similarly, whatever we do in devotional service during this month of Kartik, even when we do a little bit, the return is multiplied many, many times more than any time of the year. And so this month of Kartik is so auspicious. And of course, another name for Kartik Maas is Damodar Maas, the month of Damodar. So very appropriate we discuss this Damobandhana pastime of Krishna. So as we read in this verse, Mother Yashoda, all of Vrindavan was in bliss, enjoying the different activities that Krishna was doing. But Mother Yashoda was always in some anxiety. What's going to happen to my Krishna? What's he doing here? Of course, here we see in the purport, some gopas and gopis are complaining that your son is thieving our butter. So, this day, this pastime takes place on the day of Deepavali. And this day she had a very special opportunity. Because ordinarily, the maidservants in the home of Nandamraja's palace would perform all these household activities. And Mother Yashoda would not have the opportunity to personally churn the yogurt. But this day they had all gone because they were preparing for the Indra Puja that was taking place the next day, which we know in a few years in Krishna's activities he will undo that and establish Govardhan Puja. So this pastime took place on the day before Govardhan Puja. So Mother Yashoda is thinking, let me churn some very special milk into yogurt and then into butter so that my Krishna will be satisfied fully. And she also thought, I want to take this butter and I want to offer it to Lord Narayan so that my Krishna will get the benefit of eating this remnants. Right? This is the sweet nature between Mother Yashoda and Krishna. So she's thinking, let me take this. So she goes into Krishna's room and sees that he's sleeping very nicely. And so she thought, let me start to churn this yogurt. Because once he wakes up, everything will be disturbed. So she quietly exits his room, goes into the courtyard, and sits down and begins to churn this milk into yogurt, yogurt into butter. And as we saw in this pastime, in the purport, Mother Yashoda was feeling separation from Krishna. Why? Because Krishna was in the other room and she could not have his beautiful darshan. So what to do? So she thought, let me just recount all of his beautiful activities, how he had killed his various demons, the Narvata, Shakatasura, and all these demons. And she created beautiful songs. And Acharyas explained, as she's churning the pot, her bangles are hitting just like the perfect ting 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 of ting 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 of And the churning rod in the pot is making the sound, the perfect beats of a mridanga. So she has a full accompaniment, kartals, mridangas, and she is singing the pastimes of the Lord. And this is the epitome of devotional service. That one should always remember Krishna and never forget Him. Always remember and never forget. There's no gap, no space in that statement. In all the Vedic principles, everything should be servants to this principle. Never forget Krishna and always. And Mother Yashoda is perfecting this. She's engaging her hands in the service of Krishna. She's engaging her tongue in the service of Krishna. She's hearing her own beautiful songs, her ears in the service of Krishna. She is seeing the butter that her beloved Krishna is going to eat. So all the senses engage in devotional service. And this is the mood of devotional service. So of course we know that when Krishna's glories are sung, who shows up? We saw in Kurukshetra, right? When all the queens of Dwarka, they wanted to hear what was so special about Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan. That while Krishna is in the palaces of Dwarka, in his sleep he is always speaking about all the Vrajagopikas. What is so special there? They wanted to know. So they arranged a meeting with Mother Rohini to explain all these pastimes. Where that took place? Right here, in Kurukshetra Dam. And they had established a security feature so that Krishna and Balaram would not come and disturb the assembly. And so as Mother Rohini is speaking all these pastimes, Mother Subhadra is outside protecting, but she also became absorbed. And who showed up? Krishna and Balaram showed up. So similarly, Mother Yashoda is singing, and Krishna wakes up earlier than normal. He says, huh? Where is Mother Yashoda? Not a day he woke up where Mother Yashoda was not there at his bedside, waiting for his eyes to open. And that his first darshan of the day would be his mother. He said, what? Mother has forgotten about me? How? She can be busy. And he's yelling, Maya Yashoda, Maya Yashoda. But she is singing and churning the butter. And she is in ecstasy. He says, oh. He kicks his legs off the bed, comes down and starts waddling. He's just a young boy. This pastime takes place in Gokul. Less than 3 years old. We know they go from Gokul to Chattikar after 3 years, 4 months. So this pastime, Krishna is a toddler. And he is running to the sound and he finds Mother Yashoda engaged in household affairs. He says, I am your household affair. Children always want to be center of attention, no? Nothing is more important. He said, what are you doing? And so he grabs hold of the churning rod. Acharya's comment that his holding of the churning rod is also very instructive for us. That the Gyanis, they churn and churn all of this Shastra. They accomplish nothing. No transformation of the heart. The purpose of Shastra is to transform the heart into love of Krishna. Krishna tells Uddhavji in the Uddhav Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam that once you have acquired enough knowledge to surrender unto me, you can renounce all Gyan. Renounce all Gyan. Not even. Also, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur comments that Krishna is holding this churning rod and he's feeling very proud. Oh, I've become a big boy. I'm a big boy now. I can stop Mother from doing her work. And he jumps on her lap uninvited. He said, I don't need invitation. He jumps on the mother's lap. And he begins to take her milk. He's feeling hungry. Now how Krishna can be hungry? His Param Brahma is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is self-satisfied. So how he could feel the pains of hunger? He was hungry for Mother Yashoda's love. That is what Krishna is hungry for. When we feed him chapatis, he is not looking at the chapatis and how fluffy they are, how perfectly cooked they are, how much ghee is on there. He is not looking at any of that. That is not what he eats. What he is hungry for is the love that went into making that chapati. If I am making that chapati with the strong desire to please Krishna, that is what Krishna enjoys. In all of our services, it is not the physical service. It is the love that accompanies it. That is the taste he is only missing. Everything else is self-satisfied, Atmaram. But the thing he cannot satisfy himself is that reciprocation of love from his devotees. So Mother Yashoda is enthusiastically feeding him milk from her breast. And Krishna is enjoying to no end. And there's a transcendental competition happening. What is this competition? Krishna's belly is ever expanding, wanting to take more and more of Mother Yashoda's love. But Mother Yashoda's love is never ending, and more milk is flowing. And there's a competition. Who will finish first? Krishna's belly will fill, or Mother Yashoda's love will end. And this competition is happening. In observing this competition is this very special milk. How milk can observe something, we'll discuss in a second. But this milk is come from, as we saw in the purport, very special breed. 900,000 cows Nanda Baba has. But he has a special breed that produces the most flavorful milk. And that milk only was used for Krishna. So this milk is sitting in the pot on a fire. And it is witnessing Krishna and Mother Yashoda in this activity. And it becomes disturbed. Why? Because it is thinking that what use our milk is, how we can compare to the milk of Mother Yashoda. Krishna will never want to taste our milk. He'll never want that. We'll never have an opportunity to be used in Krishna's service. Thinking this way, thinking that there's no point of our purpose of existence. Better we just commit suicide. If I cannot serve Krishna, I have no purpose of life. This is the mood of the pure devotee. And so the milk began to jump out of the pot into the fire. We see when milk boils over the pot, what is the cause of that milk boiling over? Excess heat. But in this case it was not such. It was the mood of the milk. Everything in the spiritual world is alive. Srila Prabhupada tells the story how Mother Yashoda cooks rice. You know how Mother Yashoda cooks the rice? She puts the rice on the pot with water and in the fire, and then she goes out somewhere. And we know when you have to come and check if the rice is cooked, you squeeze, right? No, that's not in the spiritual world. How it works? Mother Yashoda, rice, are you cooked yet? Not yet? Okay. Now are you ready? Everything is alive. So this milk is alive this way. So Mother Yashoda, feeding Krishna, sees that the milk is starting to overflow. So she thinks, oh. So she puts Krishna down and runs to the kitchen. But something happened. The milk stopped overflowing before she could reach the kitchen and remove the pot. How is that possible? If the heat was the cause, until you remove, it won't stop. But the milk stopped overflowing. What happened? The milk thought, oh, Krishna, we made a huge aparad. What was that aparat? They said, because we, out of our selfish mood, decided to end our life, we have stopped the loving exchange between Krishna and Mother Yashoda. This is pure bhakti. Pure bhakti is not what I want to do for Krishna. The milk wanted to be enjoyed by Krishna. What is pure bhakti? What will please Krishna the most? If I cannot make chapati so well, normally in the kitchen, the elbows come out. I'm doing. But our mood should be, if Prabhuji can make better than me, let me assist him in making chapatis. Because what is my goal? What pleases Krishna more? Not what I want to do. This mood of bhakti is perfected. So the milk is thinking, by our selfish desire, we have interrupted the loving exchange between Mother Yashoda and Krishna. And it stops and goes back into the pot. Now Mother Yashoda has entered the kitchen. Now what happens to Krishna? He says, what? Mother has left me for a pot of milk? Our acharyas actually comment extensively about this. Did Mother Yashoda make a mistake? She's serving Krishna directly and just to salvage a pot of milk? No. Many commentaries are made. One commentary is that Mother Yashoda is knowing Nanda Maharaj is full of wealth, but I have to teach my son how not to be wasteful with this wealth. If I let this milk go, of course there's no real loss. But then how my son will learn the values and etiquette of life. She is forgetting who Krishna is, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Krishna becomes very angry that Mother Yashoda has left him. And this is another mystical reason how Krishna can become angry. The source of all anger we know in the material world, this is due to our lust. Our unfulfilled lustful desires ultimately end in krodha, anger. But Krishna is Atma Rama, so what desire goes unfulfilled? And he has no lust, he is full in Shuddha Sattva, pure goodness. So when he became angry and bit his lip, the question is, was he really angry or was he just playing anger? What do you think? Was he really angry or just playing? Just playing? He was angry? Yes. Shiva Goswami explains that Krishna was alone in the courtyard at that time. Who would be there to witness any drama? There is no audience. There is no audience. This anger was real. This is the purity of Mother Yashoda's love. That Krishna enjoys experiencing all rasas with his devotees. And we know one of Vatsalya Bhav, one of parental relationship, is experiencing also this anger from Mother, which we'll see in a little bit, and also our own frustration. It's complete rasa. But only the purest of pure devotee can invoke this pure emotion in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the depth of Mother Yashoda's love. So I try to explain that this anger was actually real. It was intense. It was not contrived. And so Krishna, with great intelligence, decides to break this pot of butter. But how did he break it? He took one stone. And Krishna's very smart. He knows. Children are smart. They know how to evade the ears and eyes of mother and father. So if he didn't break the pot at the top, because if he broke the pot at the top, a big sound would come. So what he did, he broke from the bottom. Because the contents of the pot would mute the sound of thud versus a bang. So then he broke the pot at the bottom. And of course at the bottom came, and all the yogurt started to drip out. And Krishna, I made a mistake. I better flee the scene of the crime. Because Mother Yashoda is not going to be happy. So he runs. But we know any criminal, they always leave some trace. He was careful not to make any noise from his bangles, his anklets, his earrings. He was very careful. But one thing he missed is when he was running away, he stepped in some of that yogurt, almost turned into butter. And his little footprints went to the storeroom. And into the storeroom, he had turned the churning rod upside down, the mortar upside down, and was seated on it cross-legged. And he had pulled the pot and was eating butter and also feeding to the monkeys. Krishna is thinking, we might wonder, why Krishna would break the pot of fresh butter to eat old butter. Our Acharya's comment. That Krishna is thinking, you know what? Let me go eat some old butter. Then I'll get sick in my stomach. And my parents will have to take me to Mathura and spend lots of money that the doctors do cure me. Let me show them. The kids think this way, right? Let me get back. So Krishna is thinking the same. So he goes to the store to eat old butter. He's also reciprocating with all the Vanara army who had helped him in rescuing Mother Sita. This was his receipt. He was personally feeding with his own hand to all those monkeys that butter. Jai Shri Krishna Balaram Ki Prabhupada. So Krishna is there. Mother Yashoda returns to the scene of the crime and says, this is no accident. This is only the work of my Bala Gopal. Only Krishna could do this. And she starts to look around and sees those footprints leading the trail to the storeroom. So she grabs a stick and she goes. Now Krishna is being very careful. He's hearing everything. You know, criminals have eyes on all 4 sides. They have to be very careful. So Krishna is seeing everything. Mother Yashoda knows, so she's very quietly walking, making sure no jingles, no footprint sounds, just very quietly coming, slowly coming. And all of a sudden, all the monkeys flee. Krishna's confused. What happened? The monkeys saw Mother Yashoda. So Krishna turns around and he sees Maya Yashoda. But this time he sees something new. She has a stick in her hand. A stick! Mother Yashoda has never shown stick. Oh boy, now I really did it. So he's seated atop this mortar and he's got to make a split-second decision what to do. How to run. He thinks, if I run to the front gate, Maya will not beat me in public as people are walking by. Better I go there. So in split second, though, just runs to the gate. So he's running. And Mother Yashoda says, I'll catch you. And starts running. Now Mother Yashoda is running and Krishna is running from her. This is inconceivable. The Malati flowers in Mother Yashoda's head think, what is happening? The Supreme Lord is running from Mother Yashoda. Who's this great devotee? We're sitting on her head. Better we fall at her feet. And all these flowers began to fall from her head as she was running to be at the lotus feet of Mother Yashoda. Krishna is running in fear. Krishna is the source of fear personified. Yet, he is running in fear. Mother Yashoda is running. She is a lady with a beautiful sari, jewels, everything. And she is running. And we see in Shri Upanishad, the yogis, you can run as fast as the mind will move and you cannot catch Krishna. So can Mother Yashoda catch Krishna? Yes. So Krishna is running in the courtyard. And he's thinking, okay, I'm good. And at one point he turns back to see how far is it, and boom! Mother Yashoda grabs his right arm. And now Krishna is caught. She has stick in hand. And he's thinking, this is now not good. So then he starts to cry. and cry. Every time Krishna would cry, Maya Yashoda would take her sari and wipe the tears. But this time she's not wiping the tears. So he's taking his left hand, right hand is caught, his right hand, and he's rubbing his eyes, trying to make more tears. He's making more tears. And something is not right. And he's becoming scared. Heavy breathing. Again, are these real tears? Yes, they are real tears. They're tears of love. Tears of emotion invoked by the pure devotion of Mother Yashoda. So Mother Yashoda saw that Krishna is becoming fearful, shaking. I have gone too far now. And she sets the stick aside. Now Krishna is awaiting judgment. What's going to happen to me? We all await judgment. Every action we do, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And who is that judge dispensing? Krishna. He is the ultimate dispenser. But now, he is awaiting judgment from Maya Yashoda. This is the depth of bhakti. That Krishna, who is the supreme controller, Ishvara Parama Krishna, he loves to be controlled by his devotees. He loves to be controlled by the pure love of his devotees. So, Krishna is now wondering what's going to happen to me. And Maya Yashoda is speaking very wonderful, calling him, oh, you monkey lover, you are coming from a lineage of thieves, you are always stealing, all these sweet exchanges. And at one point when she is chasing Krishna, calling him these different words, Krishna makes a threat. He said, oh yeah, I am a monkey lover, I am acting like a monkey, then I'll run away to the forest and be with the monkeys. So Mother Yashoda, hearing this, became very scared. I cannot be separated a few feet from Krishna. What if he goes into the forest? These children, they are unpredictable. They say things and they'll act on them. So she thought, let me bind Krishna to the grinding mortar. Because I have to continue all the household affairs. Nobody else is here. Mother Rohini and Balaram, they had gone. Upananda had sent some invitation, so they had gone to them, their house. Nanda Baba was out preparing for Indra Puja, nobody was there. And if Krishna is left to his own, something will happen. So to protect him, to keep him from running to the forest, many other reasons are given. She decided to try to bind Krishna to this grinding mortar. So she goes and gets some rope. Now Nanda Maharaj has how many cows? And how do we keep the cows in place? Ropes. So probably has a pretty good supply of ropes. Do they? Good supply? Sufficient to, cover the abdomen of one small boy. Even after eating, belly's a little bit expanded, but still enough rope. Enough, sure. So Mother Yashoda goes and brings, okay, this should be sufficient, yeah, and goes to tie. She was able to tie? No. Now, all the elderly gopikas are now aggregated at the gate of Nanda Maharaj's palace. And they're saying, oh Maya Yashoda, what is your Lalo done today? You are trying to bind him? Every time we complain, he is coming to our house and thieving and breaking our pots and doing all kinds of mischief and pinching the baby sleeping. You say, oh, my sweet Krishna would never do such a thing. Look, he's in my house. He's innocent. Now he has done something. Now you believe us or not? Like this. All the elderly gopikas are so happy. Now, Mother Yashoda is saying what we have always seen. So many sweet stories of how Krishna used to make fools of the elderly gopikas in front of Mother Yashoda. I think time is short, we'll continue. So they're also enjoying watching this. So Maya Yashoda goes to tie, but she was not able to tie. Again, our acharyas give many beautiful commentaries of why we chant in Damodar Astakam. What is the abdomen of the Supreme Lord? The entire universe. How much rope you need to circumambulate the universe? Also, another commentary is given that this is in the morning time. See, in Vrindavan, this Ashtakalaya Leela takes place. There are 8 segments of the day, and all different pastimes are happening. So Mother Yashoda has the morning time, and she gets this special rasa. But how she would perform her activities? She would bathe Krishna and dress him. Then, undress. Oh no, this is not good, and put new dress on. Then, no, this is not looking proper, take that. Why? She wants to extend her time. But what's happening at the same time? All the cowherd boys are pounding on the windows. Krishna, Krishna, let's go. We have to go to the forest. Because they know they have to come back at a fixed time. So now Mother Yashoda is creeping into their precious time. So this competition is happening. Govardhan Puja is the only time everybody got their wishes fulfilled. 24-hour time with Krishna. Otherwise, they're all trading off Krishna. So Krishna is feeling, while Mother Yashoda is trying to bind, that I want to go play with my friends. So seeing this desire, Lila Shakti, saying, oh, Krishna wants to go and play with his friends. Let me expand Krishna's belly. Actually, this explained that the rope is shrinking. So that she cannot bind, so that Krishna can then go and play with the cowherd boys. Fulfilling desire, Krishna, this Lila Shakti is making it impossible. So Mother Yashoda, first rope, 2 finger lengths short. She goes gets more rope, ties it onto the end, now it's double the rope. Around, sufficient? She keeps bringing more and more and more rope. All the other gopikas are laughing now, making, see, you can't even tie one small young boy. How mischievous your boy is. She says, I will tie, I don't care if it takes me till the end of night. I will tie my Lala. And much time had passed, and she is running, getting ropes, more ropes, more ropes. She is fully perspired, drenched in sweat. Her hair has become disheveled. Everything, and she's becoming fatigued. And so what does Krishna do? Allows himself to be bound. See, this is the deep relationship between Krishna and his devotees. What was Krishna's desire? To go play with his cowherd friends. But when Mother Yashoda had a stronger desire to bound Krishna, what did Krishna surrender? His own desires. Krishna tells us, Sarva dharman prityaja mam ekam sharanam vraja. He says, you abandon everything and surrender only unto me. But that surrender is a two-way street. When we surrender fully to Krishna, Krishna surrenders fully to the desire of his pure devotee. Durvasa Muni heard this from Krishna himself when he asked for forgiveness after offending Ambarish Maharaj. He said, what? I am helpless. He says, I am helpless. Because the desire of the devotee is stronger than my own desire. So, seeing the great Vishnu Thakur comments that in order to bind Krishna with love, 2 things were needed. 1, unflinching determination. Mother Yashoda was not going to be stopped. She would have gone to the end of the universes to collect more rope to bind Krishna. But was that determination alone sufficient? You need the mercy of Krishna. Our practice of spiritual life sits on these 2 principles. We must put forth all of our determination. Be enthusiastic. But don't be so foolish to think our determination can command anything from Krishna. We are fully dependent on the mercy of the Lord. But sometimes we think, oh, yes, when the Lord blesses me, then I'll do. No. We cannot be thinking that, okay, I'll do when Krishna blesses. We must first do our part, be determined, and then mercy will come. Prabhupada gives the example of the farmer. When the farmer, if he cultivates the fields and plants good crops, is it guaranteed that crops will grow? No. It's dependent on rains. But if the farmer sits back and says, okay, rains must come, but doesn't cultivate the field, will any crops manifest? No. We must do our part. We must cultivate the heart, practice our sadhana intensely with great determination, render our devotional service, and then beg for the mercy of Krishna, knowing we can do nothing on our own. If we carry those two moods, then Krishna Prema awakens within our heart. This is the recipe Mother Yashoda is showing us. We'll face obstacles in our devotional service. We'll face challenges. And as we know, in studying our acharyas, the greater the devotion, the greater the obstacles. Srila Prabhupada endured extraordinary challenges. Did he quit? Did he board back that ship going back to India? No, he stayed, persevered through so many difficulties. And who is the beneficiary of that perseverance? All of us. So Mother Yashoda was able to bind Krishna. Krishna is yelling, "Oh Balaramji, oh Rohini Maya, please come, save me." He knew, if they were here, this would have never happened. So Balaramji and Rohini Mata return. And they see, Balaramji sees, Krishna is bound up. Huh? Who is bound? Krishna. Who is this fool? Don't you know who I am? I am Ananta Shesh. I will burn this whole town of Vrindavan. Who had the audacity to tie Krishna? Then somebody said, it was Maya. Oh, Maya? And he became scared like a mouse and ran away. But Krishna keeps crying and crying, Maya, help me! Tauji, help me, help me! Balaramji says, huh? Don't we know who this is? This is Matsya, Nrsimhadev, Vamandev, Lord Narayan. He has come and you are trying to bind him. Maya says, oh yeah, all these persons have come to my house? And when one cat meows, this Krishna goes running behind my sari. This is Nrsimhadev. Get out of here. Again, Balaramji runs. And Balaramji says, see Krishna, I told you, you're always doing mischief. I keep warning you, don't do all this stuff. This is what you get. So now he begins to play altar brother role. Right? He plays all rasas. And he tells Krishna, what can I can't untie? So Krishna actually, Balaramji tries to untie. All the Gopals come, they're trying to untie. Are they able to untie? Why? Because this Vatsalya Bhav is stronger than even Sakhya Bhav. They're not able to untie. So Krishna says now he is bound, and a soft spark in his heart emerges. Whole years he's been playing in Nanda Maharaj's courtyards. He saw these two Arjuna trees, and he knew who was embedded within them. But today, being bound himself, he felt, let me now unbind these two personalities. And so for that reason, in the scheme of going to play, he takes his training rod, the mortar tied to his abdomen, and brings down these two trees, releasing Manigrivan, locally. And this is the pastime of Damodar. This shows us the importance of purity in our bhakti. And with pure bhakti, how powerful it becomes. That the Supreme Personality of Godhead surrenders to Him. And what is the principal exclusive practice of bhakti? Always remembering Krishna and never forgetting Him. That is it. And Mother Yashoda shows us this practice and that mood to stay determined. And when obstacles come, continue on and remain dependent fully on the mercy of the Supreme Lord. And if we carry that mood with us, in the mood of service, what can please Krishna? Not what I want. Like the milk. The milk at first wanted to please Krishna and then realized, no, better. Krishna may be pleased by Mother Yashoda. This selfless service. The more we can follow in these footsteps, the more progress we'll make, the more the heart will purify, and the more sweetness we will relish in our spiritual journey. So let us meditate and beg to Mother Yashoda that we can follow her instructions and guidance through this pastime and invoke a small fraction of her bhakti. And if we do, success. Shri Mother Yashoda Damodar ki jai, Damabandhana Lila ki jai, Shiva Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki jai. Thank you very much. Please forgive me for any mistakes or incorrections I made. Any questions, comments, corrections, realizations from the group? Yes, Prabhuji?
Hi, Krishna. So you mentioned about how the milk, when initially the milk was thinking about his own satisfaction. So when he realized that it's the service of the Lord that is more important, that should be done, how we can give more pleasure to the Lord. Sometimes in our services, one may feel that by taking a help of other devotee, that service might improve, but that might also prove that I am incapable. So in that, it is little difficult for one to compromise and take others' help. So how one should always keep this thing in center that our services should be only meant for giving pleasure to the Lord.
We see the essential ingredient of bhakti is humility, right? How are we going to kirtaniya sadahari? How are we going to chant the names of Lord constantly? It must be humble. Tunadapi, surichena, dorodapi, shishna, amanina manalena. 3 principles, so essential. Humility. Yes, I am incapable. When a devotee can show us our flaws, our imperfections, we should embrace that devotee with love. Because that is an opportunity for us to improve, to fill those gaps, to remove those flaws. But instead, because of the false ego, it's painful sometimes. It hurts, no doubt. But that hurt we feel when someone shines a light on our deficiencies, that hurt, like when you go to a doctor, there are certain symptoms they look at to diagnose the disease, right? Temperature, white blood cell count, pulse. The symptom of pain, that is our false ego. That is our false ego. So when we feel that pain, we should look internal, not external. That is not the source of our pain. Whatever that person may be speaking or doing, that is not the source of our pain. The source of our pain is our false ego. So, in Sangha of devotees, working together, we use this as an opportunity to become inspired by others' strengths and skills and work on removing our own impurities. But it takes a very humble disposition. And that humility is only arises from good chanting of the holy names.
It is the purifying force of the holy names. It has some power. No? So, to bring about this humility, it requires deed. I think that's a sign. But
I repeat.
yeah, I cannot speak so loud. So this chanting of the holy names is the means to bring out this humility.
सो पवित्र हरि नाम के जप करने से ही हम वो विनम्रता को विकसित कर सकते हैं.
So we should understand that the acharyas teach us that our goal in service is not to even directly serve Radha Krishna.
हमारे आचार्य हमें बताते हैं कि हमारे सेवा में जो लक्ष्य है वो श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण को डायरेक्टली सर्व करने का नहीं है.
That one has only desire of how to bring Radha and Krishna together in service, knowing that whatever I can please to Krishna is very small compared to how Srimati Radharani can please Krishna.
तो भाव ये होता है कि हम श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण को साथ में लाने का प्रयास करते हैं कि हम जो श्रीमती राधा हम श्री कृष्ण को जो सीधा सेवा कर सकते हैं पसंद कर सकते हैं उससे कहीं ज्यादा श्रीमती राधा रानी कृष्ण को पसंद कर सकते हैं.
So our acharyas comment that our mood is that we are trying to bring the higher devotees closer to Krishna and support them. And what is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells us? Das of the das and das of the das. And we're a servant of the servant of the servant of the servant.
हमारा भाव यही रहता है कि ये आचार्य बताने हमारा भाव यही रहना चाहिए कि हम जो उन्नत भक्त हैं उनको भगवान श्री कृष्ण के पास में सेवा करने में हम